Hi guys, my name is Danny Tolojinsky,
My name is Casper. I'm a friendly ghost.
and then we'll be talking about ghosties.
Ghosts. Okay. So what are ghosts? Ghosts are disembodied spirits, and our exposure to them we'll talk about in two ways. One, people that we know and love who have passed on, who then for one reason or another, we have some kind of contact with them. And then also there are certain travel destinations where can go and get a ghost tour or something along those lines. And we've had some situations where we've done that, mainly at Gettysburg and Cape May. But okay, so Danny, have you ever seen a ghost?
I saw like a couple of ghosties.
Okay, where's the one ghost that you saw?
We're on the vacation.
Okay, and that vacation was where?
In Gettysburg.
Yeah, so in Gettysburg, there's a variety of different ghost tours and everything you do. And hey, look, don't get all judgy about ghost tours and things like that. You know, a lot of it basically is you go on these tours and you get a bunch of history that's thrown in the talk that's being given and as you're being guided around the town or whatever. So, you know, generally the policy these days for us is don't go looking for these kind of things. If God desires us to have the experience, then it basically comes to us. But that's another issue we can get into maybe later. But one reason or another, okay, here you are, Gettysburg, you know, the background of Gettysburg, the Civil War battle and everything. So obviously the different reasons why some people would interact with the living or as ghosts. You know, it's ripe situation for that with the battle that took place and everything. And there's different theories about why some individuals appear as ghosts, and that there are different kind of ghosts. You know, some of them interactive and some of them more static, like in a haunting sort of situation. Our experience has usually been more of the interactive kind. So back to Danny. So yeah, we're in Gettysburg. There was this one tour that we took. There was an orphanage in Gettysburg. And as you might guess, after the battle was over, there were some orphans, and guess what? There were some abuses which took place at that site. So, Danny, what did you see?
Until I know, I saw a white figure of a child.
Okay. So we're in the basement of this building that used to be the orphanage during that time. And in the basement, they had it dimly lit. The individual was giving their talk about the background, the history of the place, and some of the things that took place. So within that environment, it stood out to Danny. Did the individual kind of, did they kind of have a glow to them or something?
Some kind of glowing.
Like they were lit up a little bit?
Yeah.
Stood out to you?
That's right.
Okay. And so we were sitting on benches listening to the person talk. And was this individual this kid, was it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Was he sitting on the bench?
He was trying to sit like straight in the head.
Straight ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. And did anyone else seem to notice him?
I do, but not even a lot of people but me.
Okay. So, and obviously there's a case of sensitivity. Some people are sensitive to stuff, pick up on stuff other people perhaps don't. And just generally, you know, the way it is. Some of us can be really clueless, and some of us are paying attention to things and pick up on that stuff. So what did the boy do when he was sitting there?
um, he's just like, he's like, he was sitting there, and I thought, when that happened, he will peel.
He disappeared.
Yes.
Okay. So he was just kind of sitting there watching
Yes.
and listening and
Mhm.
whatnot, it seemed, and then just disappeared,
Yes.
right? So how long would you say he was there?
He was there like about a minute.
Okay. So just about a minute. And I can tell you from my experience and other family members who were there too, although I didn't see that, it just felt very oppressive within that situation. It felt like something was there or things were there, and that something sad took place. So I would just say, remember those kids who had to put up with that stuff. And if you do pray, then say a prayer for them so that things are much better for their situation now. So, and then there are other things in Gettysburg too. We've taken trips through town, right? And I'm taking pictures and windows and whatnot. And so the photo at the beginning of this video, you can see one of the ghost faces that were in the one window that I was able to pick up on. And then we were by the Gettysburg High School football field where there was a mass grave site, and while the speaker was talking, and this was at night, this mist came in and floated, over the mass gravesite, the football field, and it was just kind of creepy. Some individuals that were with us saw some things there too. So anyway, Gettysburg, if you're interested, give it a look. At the very least, you'll pick up on some good history about some things which took place. And then Cape May is another place we've been, where they do stuff like that. We've gone on one or two things. One was the physics estate, where in the one room, again, there was supposedly someone who's kind of cantankerous in life and remains that way in death too in that room. And again, you kind of felt like you were in the presence of something like that when we were there, per se. Well, what about the ghosts or the images, interactions, spirits of loved ones? Have you ever seen what we could call a ghost? Of someone that you love who passed away?
Sometimes when I love somebody, so for my own personal self, because I do love everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Right. So who's someone that you loved who, after they passed away, came to see you?
Maybe like Wolfie.
Okay, so Wolfie was the world's greatest cat, is the world's greatest cat, passed away several years ago. A lot of times he would jump in bed when I was in there with Danny, and he would kind of go down in the crook of your arm like a baby, and he could kind of be with us and whatnot. So when Wolfie had passed away, but he came to see what happened there.
He always pause,
So he passed.
and so he gives me a really called kisses.
Right. So you had the experience of him in some form jumping into bed, falling on the crook of your arm, rubbing it against your face like he would do, and then giving you kisses, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And purring. You could hear the
Yes.
purring and everything. Okay. So yeah, and I've had some of those things too with Wolfie. And what else? Anyone else come to see you?
Like, like, Uncle Steve.
Okay. So if you know me, my brother Steve passed away again a while ago, and he kind of does stuff with me through the radio, which I'll talk about. But he came to see you, and what happened there?
He says hi.
Where
and,
were you?
I was in bed.
Okay, so you were in bed,
Yes.
and he appeared. You could see him.
Yes.
Okay. And did he look the way he usually does?
Yes.
Did he look happy?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he say to you?
He said hi, and he gives me a kiss on my cheek.
Okay. And anything else?
He gives me a hug, and he shake my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and he say your name after that.
Okay. Said my name.
Yes, yours.
Was I actually laying there at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, because I don't remember this, so I was asleep. I fell asleep, I guess. And then what? He said my name, and then what?
And he patted your head.
He petted my head, my bald head. and then what? And then did he say so long and go?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, my brother too. If anyone knew him, he was a DJ for radio stations. He went to school, got an associate's degree for broadcasting, and there's really a lot of stuff with music that he did on the side. And so it's not surprising that a lot of time what I'll do is I'll ask a question. And then I'll hit the tuning button on my satellite radio, and there'll be an answer a lot of times to the question, which makes a lot of sense through the song that's playing, or the name of the group that's playing, or something along those lines. The song and the lyrics of the song, and I wasn't even familiar with it. After he passed away, it was like a personal message to me, the way that it fit the situation. So, say no more, but yeah, that's the way that works for me. Have you seen any other ghosts, or had any other kind of experience with loved ones who have moved on?
Maybe like grandma. I
Okay.
think.
Okay, so you've seen Grandma?
Yes.
MC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything that you want to say about that?
She always says hi,
Mm.
and she gives me a kiss above my head.
On your forehead?
Yes.
Mm. Okay. And that's happened a few times?
And after that, she gives me a hug. And then, after that happened, and she totally says something to you, and then she will pat your head.
Okay. When my mother had passed away, about a year after that, she started coming to me in dreams. And these were not dreams about my mom. These were dreams with my mom, where she kind of spoke to me. It's like, hey, yeah, I passed on. I told you that I was going to come and reassure you of everything. And then, we were talking. And that lasted for a couple of years. And then the last time it happened, pretty much knew that for one reason or another, again, I don't know why, that was going to be it. And, again, I won't give details about it, but so that was kind of special. My mother-in-law too, she was kind of wondering why she wasn't coming to see me or anything. The one morning when the kids were still little, was lying in bed with one of them, looking across the room at the other one lying in the bed, and behind that individual, the other child, I forget which one, I'd have to think to make sure I'm correct, but she was lying behind them. And she said, "Okay, are you happy now? I came to see you." And then she just kind of smiled and laughed a little bit, and then was gone. So, it seems kind of unbelievable. I'll tell you, I was never in a state of grief per se for me this happened. I don't think that would be true for Danny either. It's actually more, in my opinion, that grief and that intense sadness will block those things to a great degree. I think it's more of a matter that in our day and age, we don't pick up on things. When I was growing up and was a little kid, this stuff was definitely more so commonplace. And it wasn't unusual, and you weren't thought of as being weird when you're saying things like we're kind of saying now. Actually, the first time for me was in a coal patch town, Coal's Patch actually it was called, outside Monterey City. My grandfather had passed away, and we were going up, my dad, my brother, and myself, to clear the house out, because we left the furniture there for a few years because he was ill, and he was in the house, out of the house, living with us, and then eventually had to go to a nursing home. But when he passed, we went to take the furniture out. And on the second floor of the house, or third floor, depending on how you think of it, in the bedroom is where my grandmother, his wife, had passed away. Bent over to pick up a chair to take it out to the station wagon that we had that we were hauling stuff away with. And as I was picking it up, I looked in the mirror ahead of me, and I saw my grandma Nellie, my grandmother, standing behind me, and just kind of very subtle sort of smile, watching me and what I was doing. And then she was gone. But at that age, I wasn't quite ready for those kind of experiences. So also, I would stay with Grandpap Sam, during certain summers, and he wouldn't sleep in the upstairs bedroom where Grandma Nellie had passed away. So when I would come up and stay with him for a week during the summer or here and there, we would sleep down in the living room. And he would sleep on the couch. He had a rollaway bed for me to sleep on. And the one night I woke up in the middle of the night and looked to the window, and it was kind of all aglow. Went to the window and saw like a city scene of people walking on the sidewalk outside in his upper yard, although it appeared like it was a city street. And as the people were kind of hustling and bustling and going by in either direction, some of them noticed me and smiled or pointed at me or whatnot. I think maybe one of them had a grumpy sort of look on their face and maybe said something unkind to me. But yeah, that was a little bit different too. So yeah, stuff happens.
That's right.
Stuff happens. There's a whole world of things going on, and we're just kind of clueless about it for one reason or another. So the more you pay attention, the more you'll notice. The more you turn to God, the more that you'll pick up on, and the more you'll be protected too. Because not all this stuff can be good, and you have to be a little bit careful, obviously. And that's why it's always good to include God in the conversation with this stuff. Don't seek it out. If it's meant to be, it will come to you. Anything else?
Well, it's cool. And don't mess with the Ouija board.
Okay. Yeah, so that, again, don't go looking for things that we don't really understand. There's lots of things out there, and not all of them are well-intentioned. Question that we all have to ponder is, You know, is there evil in the world? Is there good? Is there evil? When you come to the conclusion that there are both, all of a sudden you're going to be a little bit more cautious, maybe. So yeah, watch out for things like that other people just kind of play off as silly and have no consequences. I would be careful. So, anything else?
Well, I'll say peace.
And I say, boo.
And I would say subscribe, ring the bell.
Subscribe to Danny's channel. He needs 2 more subscribers to get to 150 so he can have a party. What else? We done? We'll see you next time.